Hello there. Well, I like light, I like rainbows, I like colors, so let's play with some pictures today. Start out with one put together for me by a friend. And just enjoy. Now, if you like, gather yourself together in the present moment. Pull out of the mind, draw into heart, let everything else go, and just be here now. And get the sense of that. You can enjoy the pictures mindlessly. Now, anything that pulls you out of the present moment is a trap. Anything that makes your present moment look unacceptable or less than in some way is a trap. And so, of course, that's going to apply to anything that's got you out into the future. You know, if you know this big change is coming, well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Oh goodness, that's the same as the other one, only smaller. Interesting. So, the fullness of who and what we are, whatever that is, and I don't care to try to define it, it's really not definable in 3D because it's not containable in 3D. Should any one of us bring the fullness of our divinity to bear right and try to have it contained within the body, we'd sizzle and fry it. Wouldn't work out so well. So, and the mind just isn't put together in such a way that it can wrap its arms around this. It's like asking the fourth grader to take the college seniors exam, you know, it's like meaningless, does not compute. That's a real tunnel. Isn't that interesting lighting they've put in there? I sure like it. So, where from there? Where indeed? I don't know. Things keep changing in ways I'm unaccustomed to. And when you're in heart, you're not thinking it out, you're not reasoning it out, you're in the experience instead. And so you're kind of, if anything, you're kind of feeling it out. But I think it's more just an experiencing. And you don't quite know the why of the change, nor even the how. You just know what is. And it's rather fun like that. I mean, come on. Are you not adventurous? Once you've let go your moorings to the mind, you get more into the reality of anything is possible. I'm seeing things, little lights and things out of the corner of my eye. I'm tending to hear words in my head, not the true clairaudience, because I've experienced that as well. I mean, there are times when you literally hear a voice in your head. This isn't that. It's just the words. It's telepathy. And there are moments of such clarity that it's amazing, but it's variable. There's a real variableness about this new state, I guess you'd call it. I don't know. You know, mind does have a context for it, in that with the continually rising frequencies we're being exposed to, the solar winds and so on. A new one due, I think, around the 17th of May. And so these things have an influence, have an effect. And our biology itself is changing. I work regularly with a distance healer, Ken. And, you know, he's helping me to clear out of the physicality anything and everything that's in the way to the flow, the normal natural flow of chi and energy there. And so, you know, most of this starts with the physical, getting that cleared out. And so there's also the consequences of that. There's increased flow and movement of energy. So, you know, there's some kind of a context that's present, like a bowl that holds whatever the experience is. But I can reject all of that as well. I mean, that's not necessary. Because again, that's mind trying to put things together and have a context. And in my view, it pays to hold everything very loosely, especially if it's something of mind. It's okay to hold it and to have it, but don't get attached to it. Be ready should something present that shows you, oh my God, the way I was looking at it was inaccurate. If we hold on too tightly to our thoughts, ideas, and beliefs, we won't hear that, oh my God. We won't see that, whatever it is. Because by our grasping and by our holding, we have rejected it. These things, a lot of them start in the unconscious of us. And so for something to become consciously present, chances are good it's been present quite a while. The conscious mind just wasn't aware of it. See, we have a subconscious and an unconscious aspect of being that's on duty all the time, and that's doing what it's programmed to do. Now, we can program it, or, you know, there's a lot of the programming that we've been given since birth that is active, that we are actively reprogramming. As we shed our old beliefs, all the beliefs that we've been fed, all the ideas that we've been told are the right ones, as we let them go, we're doing the deprogramming. We're taking charge and control of those aspects of our being and saying, hey, I'm going to decide what goes in there. I'm going to choose my beliefs now instead of all of these ones that have been handed to me. Every one of them is now suspect. And I no longer hold tightly to them. If we can at least do that and say, hey, I'm aware that I've been fed a passel and a pocket and a bucket and a trainload full of lies, then we're in the best shape to do this restructuring. And it has an influence, it has an effect, even on our physical reality. We don't know for the most part. The extent to which who and what we are is in control of the reality that's perceived here. Because we don't know the full extent of who and what we are. Now, do we? So how can we say if we haven't examined and explored? It's my hypothesis that a part of our awakening is actually having the box that we're in expanded and occupying more of the subconscious, the unconscious, and the superconscious. We're expanding out into our own being, our own who am I, and occupying that. And it feels strange, and yet it feels like self at the same time, and I think that's partly why. It is who and what we are. But we've been locked out of it for such a long time, and we got used to that, and we were told that it was normal. Well, throw away normal, my friends. There's no such beast. It's a crazy idea. It doesn't exist. Look at all the different flowers in a flower garden. Now tell me what's normal there. Is it normal to be a lily or a buttercup? I mean, normal? What's normal? And keep the mind out. See, as soon as you let the mind in, you exit the heart. I hate to make it so blunt like that, but it's a fact. Part of staying in heart, excuse me, is you'll hear the mind's thoughts chime in or pop up now and then. And the thing is, you know, you're not out at that point. You're not out of heart until you start following what the mind has to say, until you start thinking about it. You can reject it and you can say, I'll deal with that later, or ignore it, or whatever your way is. So at least while you're with the journals here, just reject everything that comes from the mind. And the mind might go into fear over that because it's used to being in charge of you. It's used to being in control. It's used to you listening and being obedient to it. New way to look at it, isn't it? The mind as the inner Nazi. Well, it's not really that. It's just a matter of, it's like having a dog that's not been well trained. And it thinks it's the boss. And gives you all kinds of a hard time until you get it figured out that you've got to show the dog that it's not the alpha. And once you do that, it's amazing how the dog will relax. The spirit of the dog will simply let go and enjoy the fact that it's not the alpha. It just has to be shown. It's the same way with mind. There's a wonderful program by a dog trainer. His name is Cesar. I don't remember the name of his show. When I used to have a television, I would enjoy watching it, little half-hour shows. And he was gentle and ever so understanding with it, but the bottom line was, whatever the problem was with the dog, it wasn't with the dog, it was with the owner, or master, or dog companion. I hate to say owner. We don't own land, and we don't own living beings, you know. We form partnerships. This idea of owning is horrible. But anyway, it was always something that the master didn't understand about being a dog, having a dog, living with a dog. When you get up in the morning, do not take care of your pet first. That gives it the idea that it's the most important thing. Now, maybe it is to you, but still, don't take care of your pet first. Take care of yourself. Get your coffee. Use the bathroom. Do whatever. Take care of you. Then take care of your pet. Your pet will be happier for it. It won't be so nervous and barking at every little thing and being aggressive at the door and so on. Once it realizes it's not the alpha. Well, we've got to do that same thing with our subconscious and our unconscious aspect of being, of mind. And it will at first be frightened because it's been so used to being in control. It knows nothing else. It's been the emperor of your life there. I mean, for a while you thought you were the mind. If you can remember back to that, or if you're still in that state. And that isn't the case. Your first OBE, out-of-body experience, will show you that. Just ain't so. And things become less and less shocking the more we let go. They're shocking to the structure that we've created, but we're abandoning that structure. Bit by bit, we're letting it go. And that's accelerating now. Everything's accelerating now. It's getting faster and faster. There's no time to be bored. If there's boredom in your world, that isn't you. You know, whatever that is, that's not real. You want to have a look at it. So, maybe that's enough for now. Just rambling and musing. At some point, I'm going to have less concern about being sure that these are reasonably short. And just let fly. And see what happens, you know, if I completely let go of any concern about time. We shall see. Oh dear, I forgot to give you some new pictures. Sorry about that. I just got off into it. Good day.